Hello and welcome to another Cactus Hill adventure. And this episode will be part 2 of the Mytoge Mountains and the Twin Crater Lakes in the Fish Lake National Forest. Here we are going down Forest Road 045 to Briggs Hollow, and then we're going to take a beautiful view here of the Boulder Mountain in the background, Thousand Lakes Mountain to the left, and the Fremont Loa Valley in the center there. We're going to head back. This is all Forest Road 46. Here we had a portion of 045, but we don't quite make it all the way back to Fremont River Road during this video. Here we have a beautiful view of the lower Crater Lake. Obviously there's very little water in it. If you watched part 1, I showed you a picture I took at Johnson Reservoir, which is just north of here a little ways, and the water levels in fall of 2021 as compared to fall of 2022, and they were very much lower in 2022. So that's the same effect here. We've got this video footage and drone footage that I had in part 1 was taken in the fall of 2022. I'm showing this road, slowing it down in some sections because this is probably the most difficult part of this section of the road that we were on. It doesn't even go probably a mile to where we went from, where it gets kind of rocky and gets a little more difficult. Nothing really too hard, but I think you'd need a four-wheel drive with a little high clearance. So that's kind of, my advice. I think maybe an SUV all-wheel drive could do okay. Just depends on the tire placement and in some of the areas. Just enjoy the beautiful view here. There's some beautiful colors, obviously a fall. And we're coming up to an area that we stopped on the way in, and I flew my drone right here, and I'm going to show you a couple of pictures that I took out from the drone. There they are. There's yours truly. There's a beautiful view of the lower Crater Lake. And we continue on here. This section was probably the most rocky and difficult. Again, nothing too crazy, nothing a four-wheel drive vehicle with a little high clearance couldn't handle. But I just, again, wanted to show you that to see what you're getting yourself into if you head up to the Crater Lakes from Forest Road 046. Now, during part 1, I asked the audience if they knew anything about the Mytoge Mountains. I did some research and couldn't find really anything on what this name means, where it came from, etc. And one of the viewers of part 1 told me that it means moon, and it's a Native American language, but they weren't sure. It came from a book by John V. Van Colt called Utah Places Names. 1990 is when that book was published. So Mytoge means moon. So we're basically in the Moon Mountains. Pretty cool. All right, here we're kind of work our way through. As you can see, a little bit rockier section. I think there's one more area here that's a little difficult, but not too bad. And then the road starts getting a lot better from here. So it's just that section from the upper Crater Lake down to this area that's a little dicey. Here we're coming up to another beautiful tree stand, and when you make this turn to the left up here, when we came in we made a turn to the right here, and this is the view we saw from there. That's the mountains on the other side of Fish Lake, and this is the view as we were coming in. So I just thought those would be some pictures you might have and want to look at. Anyway, we're moving on here. Beautiful again, tree stands, beautiful colors. Sorry, I sound like a broken record probably, but we really enjoyed this view and this drive through the Fish Lake National Forest. This canopy section is what made me turn on the GoPro when we were coming in. So this is where we started. Part one was right around this area. You can see the rain clouds to the left there. Those are to the north. As you see when we come up to a place called Silas Springs, again, very good road through here. By the way, these Mytoge Mountains, they're at an elevation of over 10,000 feet, or 3,143 meters. And I've heard it also pronounced Mytoge, so I like Mytoge a little better, so that's what I'm going to use. Here we're coming up to Silas Springs. You'll see some corrals there towards the left a little bit, and then there's going to be a sign designating what road this is, and you can hit Highway 25, which is on the west side of Fish Lake. It's 10 miles, and we're going to turn to the right and head out and see what we can see. Again, we really had no plan for today. I didn't do any research on this road, so we're just kind of winging it right now. What's interesting as you travel through these tree stands, some of them are not turning to the fall colors yet, and some are almost blown out. So I'm sure that has to do with the DNA of the tree, and also the weather, the wind, temperatures, etc. that affect when the leaves turn colors and when they drop. Here's one of the more beautiful views we had during the trip. So I thought I'd just show you this, again, beautiful view. Took a little break, and we're gonna get back on the road and keep heading towards Utah Highway 25. Here we're gonna slow down for some of our biggest fans. And it's also a good reminder that there is cattle grazing all throughout the Fish Lake National Forest and this area in general. So pay attention, watch for them on the sides of the road. You don't want to hit one and you have to buy it, basically. There's another beautiful stand of trees. We're pretty much on the top of one of the highest mountains in the area, as you can see. As we came into this little valley, there was a beautiful view off to the left that we'll show you in a minute. It was probably the best view of the day. So I'm looking for a place to kind of turn out here. Found a little opening here and made the left, and we'll show you that that view. Here you are. There's we encountered a butterfly as well. I'm going to do a frame by frame of that butterfly that we disturbed. But this is a beautiful view of the Fremont Loa Valley. There in the foreground, in the background, Thousand Lakes Mountain and Boulder Mountain. So we're going to continue on a little bit and take another view of that same general area. We end up stopping here, hanging out, and just taking a break for a little bit, enjoying the views and the surroundings, the peaceful nature of the area. Again, that's Boulder Mountain in the background, Thousand Lakes there to the left, and the Fremont Loa Valley there in the center, obviously the green area. One thing I learned in my research is that the town of Loa was named after the volcano in Hawaii called Mauna Loa. So that was kind of interesting, unexpected discovery. So here we're heading back from Briggs Hollow, and remember that name because it'll be, well, we'll show you towards the end of the video why that is important. Here, look at the rain clouds. That's over basically the two crater lakes, upper and the lower. That's kind of why we left that area. We're coming up on Silas Springs, and we're going to have a little fun again with a bumblebee, or maybe just a bee. I'm not. There he goes, kind of cuts in front of us. Didn't become part of the windshield. Here we're going to continue on. This is the road we came in on, so we're back on the track of what we came in on to get to the Twin Crater Lakes. There's Forest Road 2594. Here we're continuing on, and we're going to go through a little section of trees that I thought I'd include and keep it slow through this area because the light that the sun reflects through the trees here is just really beautiful. Makes the leaves look like they're lit up. So I thought I'd just show you that. Hope you appreciated that. Now we're coming into the more, well, mundane section of the trees and the view as they were kind of getting out of the tree line and heading down into the valley. But there's a section coming up that I wanted to show you. I hinted on it earlier about Briggs Hollow, and when we get to it I'll explain to you why that was important. There's a nice view of Boulder Mountain. You're starting to see the fall colors and the green of the trees. Well, here's this intersection. You can see Briggs Hollow, 1 mile. If we hadn't turned around back there and just continued on, this is the intersection we would have came out on. Had we known it at the time, we would have obviously came that way. But that's just a little hint for you. You can do a whole loop there and come back out on Forest Road 046. Anyway, we're winding down the video. Another great view of Boulder Mountain. And I just thought I'd throw in some of my favorite photos from this adventure. And remember, as I always remind you, you won't know if you don't go. We sincerely appreciate you watching our channel, viewing our videos. Take care and be safe out there.